Miranda, not only an extraordinary actress, she's won Survivor. Oh, I could watch that season. It was so good.
Thank you.
But she's also an amazing cook. What can't you do?
A lot.
You're going to be doing one of my absolute favourite dishes, like Italian comfort food, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to spend a lot of time cooking with my nonna. Yeah. And so when you said, like, you know, I got asked to come on here and, like, what do you want to cook? I thought I want to cook something that I really love, and this is definitely something my go-to if I need, you know, some comfort or something kind of delicious and homely, and the kids love it. And I love eggplant.
So tell me, what are we making?
We're making stuffed eggplant or stuffed melanzane, as Italians would say.
Melanzane.
And I feel like eggplant gets a bit of a bad rap.
You do need to prep them properly. You need to cook them well, right?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need to salt them or, you know, do something to make them sweet. So what I'm going to get you to do is just to make the sauce for me. Yeah. And then I'm going to cut out these eggplants. So you really want to scoop out the middle of them and leave about a centimetre. It's not that pretty when you do it. It kind of looks a bit, you know,
it's not
like
it's
good
pretty.
chefy.
When someone says eggplant to me, I'm a bit like, oh, I love this. This is going to be tasty if it's prepared right.
If it is prepared right. So you really want to scoop out this middle and then get the flesh out, but leave about, see, I'm leaving about a centimetre out there. And the young eggplants are best because the older ones are really hard to scoop.
Yeah.
I do love Japanese eggplant.
Ooh, with the miso?
Oh my gosh, so much. This reminds me of my nonna. I actually got the recipe from her, but then I had to sort of rework it because, you know, she didn't write in English.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I had to sort of remember how she made it and then sort of make it my own kind of thing. So I grab all that flesh and then I chuck that in some salted water and we'll cook that for about 8 minutes.
Okay, I can do that for you.
For me, thank you. And then maybe just keep stirring those onions so you don't really want the onions to caramelise.
Yep, and garlic?
Yeah, so half of that garlic and then the rest I'll reserve for my little stuffing mix.
Okay. And you've got the white wine, passata, which is just tomato puree and a bit of water.
Yeah, exactly. And then while you're doing that,
yes,
I'm going to make the stuffing to stuff inside the eggplant.
Okay.
So it's super simple. So you just add the breadcrumbs.
Fresh breadcrumbs.
I like fresh breadcrumbs.
Yeah, me too. But I always find at the end of the loaf, I haven't finished it, I never throw it out. Never, ever, ever. Take the crust off, pop it into a food processor, blend it, you've got fresh breadcrumbs.
I feel like breadcrumbs, parmesan and parsley are one of my favourite things together with a bit of garlic. So I've got the meat going in.
What type of mince are you using there?
I'm using like a pork and veal mix, but you could use beef. I just feel like beef sometimes gets a little beefy.
Yeah, yeah.
A bit dry.
Yeah, and I think the pork just sort of balances it out. It does stay super juicy.
Yeah, if you could chop those for me. Just because I'm really terrible at chopping. I don't want to expose myself as like a bad chopper. So I'm not putting all the breadcrumbs in yet because I like to just check like what's going on.
Right, okay.
Then I'll just add an egg. All the chefy things I'm really bad at, like, you know, cracking eggs and stuff.
Pia, it's all about home cooking. As long as you don't get the shells in there, I'm going to be okay.
So salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add quite a bit of parmesan. But I sort of, with the stuffing mix, you sort of want to check once that eggplant flesh is going to go in here.
Yes.
So maybe just reserve a bit of the breadcrumbs just so you sort of don't get that thing of like they're too dry or they're too soft. And then you can probably help me with this, but I'll get going. Yeah, but I like a lot of parmesan, but that's to taste. But there's not, you can never have too much parmesan for me.
I hear you. I'm in the same camp as that. I love lots of cheese, all types of cheeses, but I do love my parmesan.
And then that will go in here as well.
Okay.
You do such a good job of chopping.
So
great.
exciting.
And then you're going to let that sit for about 30 minutes.
Okay. With
some salt and pepper, and that'll just be a nice sauce that we'll put on top of the eggplants so they don't go too dry.
Love it.
So our eggplant's almost done, so we're going to strain that off, take out as much of the water as we can. You can use a paper towel or just squish it with a fork. Then we're going to put it in our stuffing mix, mix it all together, and then we're going to stuff our eggplants.
Sounds good.
I have been filling these eggplants with lots of my stuffing mix, and then I'll finish this off. Sometimes I use my hands. I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to
You don't need to be polite here in this kitchen. We're all about the hands here.
And then if you want to put just maybe like just a ladle full of sauce on the bottom, just so they don't stick with some olive oil.
I did add a little bit of basil to that too.
Perfect. And then I'm going to layer these little babies on here.
Yeah.
And then...
It's a good idea to make sure you put that sauce down the bottom so they don't burn at all.
Yeah. And I don't know, my nonna always used to just layer every sauce on the bottom of everything. Yeah. So I've just... She's coming up a lot today.
She's not wrong, though. And it is her recipe after all.
And then the rest of the sauce will go on top.
Okay. Just pour it all over?
Pour it all over, like pretty evenly. So now this goes into the oven for 40 minutes on about 180.
Yep.
And then we'll take them out, add some parsley, parmesan, breadcrumb to a mix, put that on top for another 20 so they get nice and golden, and then you're done.
Sounds good. I'll take this to the oven.
Great.
Pia, these not only look fantastic, but it smells so good.
It smells like, I don't know, Nana's, Nonna's cooking. Just, you know, those old Italian houses when you walk in, they smell so good. So you have to eat some now.
Of course. You have to. It's going to be a real challenge.
That's okay. Maybe a little bit of sauce as well, just in case, like just around the side.
Yep.
Just a little bit of olive oil, just for shine.
Yep. Drizzle that over.
And we're done. Dig in.
Yes, please. All right, where do I start? I might start down here. Oh, so soft. Look at that. Perfectly cooked meat, eggplant. Oh, so tender. You're like, stop talking, just eat.
You like?
Buonissimo. It is so good. Your nonna, she was onto something.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'm glad you like it.
So good. Like we got a few to get through.